Did you ever want to get political on your show? Do you like sticking to sports, or I mean, does sharing a name with the Texas politician Dan Patrick, does that almost make you less inclined to get political?
Well, I told my audience when I first started, if you're going to come here and you expect sports, you're going to get sports. Other people do politics and they do it far better than we do. And I'm not here to wax poetic about something. If something comes up and I feel like it's pertinent to the show, then great. But I'm not going out of my way to make it seem like I'm the person that should be talking about this or knowledgeable about this. When it comes to sports, I'm pretty knowledgeable. But I told my audience that I would not get political with them. And it's not a cop out. I'm doing a show that I want to do. If you want to listen to somebody who talks sports, then go listen to them. And they have politics in there. Good for you. This is my show. I lean on my strengths, and this is what I do well. But if you want to talk politics and you're doing a sports show, great. Stephen A. can do it all he wants. I have no issue with that. It's his show. I always tell people, if you don't like it, turn it off. This is what I do. This is how I'm going to do it, and I'm not changing. And I do, hate the fact that the lieutenant governor of, Texas shares the same name, and people think that I'm, against old age people. And, during COVID, some things were said, and like people get mad at me. And I go, that's not me. I didn't say it. That's him. But, people only read just enough. And they're like, Dan Patrick said this. And I go, my wife will say, what did you say on a show today? And I go, about what? About old people. I go, I'm an old person. What are you talking about? So there's no need to get political. The other Dan Patrick's getting political.
Have you ever interviewed a president or a former president?
Bill Clinton, George Bush, Senior and Junior. And let's see, we've had them come in, but I talked to George W. I mean, we talked Texas Ranger baseball, and then George Bush Senior. We talked Astros baseball. Bill Clinton, we talked football, Arkansas football. I mean, they don't want to talk politics, and I don't want to talk politics. I want to have you talk sports. All the jerseys that Bill Clinton got, I go, where are those? That they'd always give you a jersey at the White House. And I was curious. Are you allowed to? Do you have a man cave? But, to be able to talk to them, it's really about finding out what kind of sports fan they are. But it's not to get political. Couldn't care less about playing favorites. And hopefully it doesn't appear that way.
Never interviewed Trump earlier in your career?
I met Donald Trump back in 1983, maybe. Doug Flutie had signed with the New Jersey Generals.
Okay.
I went to Trump Tower when Herschel Walker went to the Generals. I've been in Donald's office before to do an interview with him. Saw him when he was doing The Apprentice. When I was at Football Night in America, I saw him. He came up, said hello, introduced me to Mark Burnett, and said that we should do a show together. And then he left, and I'm standing there with Mark Burnett, who I had no relationship with. And I just said, hey, Mark. And he goes, hey, Dan. And I go, that was awkward. He goes, it always is with Donald. Always is. And that was it. So, yeah, I've had conversations with him, but it's been, sports related.